So a person that has fear, right, does not have a perfect belief in God, right? Because if I say I'm going to do God's will, He tells me to do something, right? There's this saying that, even a dog barks when his master is being attacked. And if God's way of being attacked is when a person spreads falsehood, and the way that you stand up for God is by speaking truth. And people don't want to speak truth anymore, right? Because they don't want to lose position and access in a world that is built on falsehood. So therefore the fear, right? Whoever they fear becomes their.
But if you're hearing this right now, it must be for you. This next season is personal. Yo, when it comes to your life, I want you to make this next chapter impossible to ignore. It's time to make the people who walked away realize what they walked away from. I want you to do something real, something major, something so major that they can only watch from a distance.
What you're suggesting here is something, I think if I can read into what you're saying, it has.
Hey, happy holidays to my Alim aliens, my New World architects, the shiny ones. Happy soul holidays. I hope that you are celebrating yourself this year. Please keep your money, invest in yourself. Your gift to your children, to your family should be you. Let's create the new as we walk into the new world, believing in ourselves. That is the religion that's most overlooked. So I'm not going to hold y'all up any longer. I've been dying to release episodes.
Sure who this is for, but if you're hearing this right now, it must be for you. This next season is personal. Yo, when it comes to your life, I want you to make this next chapter impossible to ignore. It's time to make the people who walked away realize what they walked away from. I want you to do something real, something major, something so major that they can only watch from a distance and think to themselves, man, I didn't know they was going to become all of that. Because when that time comes, when you've built something so strong, they're going to have to sit with that. They're going to have to replay every moment they misjudged what God was building inside of you. The truth will begin to sit in that they should have stayed a little longer. Maybe they should have never taken them opportunities away from you. They should have believed a little deeper. And maybe they should have showed just a little bit more patience. But now, their previous doubts will become their reminder, and their exit is definitely about to become their regret. So, keep going, keep elevating, because your growth will speak for itself, and they're gonna have to watch pay-per-view, baby, front row seats, not general admission, while God allows you to shine.
So a person that has fear, right, does not have a perfect belief in God, right? Because if I say I'm going to do God's will, He tells me to do something, right? There's this saying that, even a dog barks when his master is being attacked. And if God's way of being attacked is when a person spreads falsehood, and the way that you stand up for God is by speaking truth. And people don't want to speak truth anymore, right? Because they don't want to lose position and access in a world that is built on falsehood. So therefore the fear, right? Whoever they fear becomes their God.
Do not speak of what happens after you hear this. Keep it to yourself. Prosperity hates noise. Wealth is born in silence. The moment you tell others what is forming within you, their doubt becomes your delay. So promise me this. When the results begin, tell no one. Just smile and keep listening. You're about to enter a state few men ever reach. A place between sleep and awareness where the mind is open, receptive, and undefended. In that quiet space, suggestion becomes law. Whatever you hear there takes root in your subconscious, and the subconscious never argues. It only obeys. That is why this must be done in silence. You cannot share what the seed looks like before it becomes a tree. Talk too soon, and you rob yourself of power. Remain still, and the law begins to move for you. What you are about to learn is not positive thinking, it is mental engineering. While the body rests, the mind will work. While you sleep, your thoughts will align with the exact rhythm that attracts opportunity, ideas, and wealth. This is not superstition. It is law. The subconscious mind is the connection between you and infinite intelligence, the same force that inspired Edison, Ford, and Carnegie. They all understood this, that prosperity is not achieved, it is attracted, not chased, commanded. Every fortune begins in the same invisible workshop, the organized, focused, silent mind. When you align your thoughts with faith, gratitude, and purpose, the universe responds as precisely as gravity. So before you close your eyes, release every thought of worry, every fear of tomorrow, every doubt about money. You cannot hold fear and faith in the same mind. You must choose. And tonight you will choose faith. Faith that the world is rich. Faith that opportunity is infinite. Faith that you are ready. Now, listen closely. The reason most men remain poor is not because they lack work, but because they lack quiet. They scatter their energy with talk, comparison, and complaint. They chase advice, tell everyone their goals, and drain the very power that could have created them. You must be different. You must learn to create in silence and act with precision. When others ask what you are doing, smile. When they question your calm, smile again. Because the moment you explain your faith to the faithless, you begin to doubt it yourself. This is why I say, tell no one about the results. They will not understand, and their misunderstanding will infect your faith. The most dangerous contagion in the world is the disbelief of others. Protect.
What you're suggesting here is something, I think if I can read into what you're saying, it has implications for science and for the scientific community.
We're locked in this apparently solid, substantive reality. The universe has many, many levels of reality. We just haven't accessed the level that shows us how profound and magical that reality is. What I'd like to do next is I'm working on a book that is the practical application of this holographic idea in all of its various phases. We've got to understand that we have this enormous capability, but our conscious mind feeds it all kinds of things unwittingly and gives it all kinds of mistaken directions. And I want to write a book that really deals with all these things on all kinds of levels, saying, here are the practical applications, how it ways that you don't have to deal with the very sort of heady space-time aspects of these things.
Right after making that statement on TV, he died in a very strange way. His name is Michael Talbot, an independent researcher who had decoded reality, or multiple realities, something most people were never supposed to know. He passed away suddenly, and his ideas forced many scientists to question what they thought they knew. Talbot's central claim was bold. This world isn't the only one. There are parallel realities happening at the same time, but we can't normally see them. By the late 20th century, quantum mechanics had already exposed cracks in the traditional view of an objective universe. The double-slit experiment revealed that particles behave differently when observed, suggesting that the observer is not outside the system, but part of it. Rather than dismissing this as an anomaly, Talbot treated it as the foundation of understanding existence.
Reality in a hologram can manifest in two ways, as a concrete image or as this sort of indecipherable blur of energy. An analogy to this is when you're watching Johnny Carson new television set, that's really, his image is encoded in two ways. One is as the concrete image on the TV set, one is as the blur of radio waves permeating the living room. And if the universe is a hologram of some sense, in some way, it suggests that there may be two very drastically different levels to reality, that the concrete reality we see, you know, when we look at these chairs and at you know, the trees and the clouds and everything like that,
Our bodies
are just one way that reality manifests, and that at some deep level there's a level of reality where everything dissolves into an ocean of energy that is holographically interconnected, where every portion of the universe is contained in every tiny area of the universe.
From this perspective, reality is layered. Each level of perception connects to deeper levels, and all of them converge into a unified field where the division between mind and matter disappears. Within such a framework, death is not an ending, but a...
Because the subconscious mind is the key. Do you know what the subconscious mind does? It never sleeps. When you dream out of the subconscious mind. It never sleeps, it never forgets. It remembers everything that you've forgotten. Never forgotten. Everything you've ever heard, everything you've ever learned, everything that's ever been told to you is accepted as fact and stored in the subconscious mind. The most powerful instrument in the universe is the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is only 10%. And the thing is that everything that goes into the subconscious that causes the problem comes from the conscious. Somebody tells you something, it goes in there and it finds a place to dwell and grow in there. Somebody teaches you something, somebody frightens you. It all goes from here, your conscious mind, and then it goes into the subconscious mind. And when it goes into the subconscious mind, you forget it. But your subconscious doesn't. So, a situation happens. See, this is only 10% of, this is the key of tithing. This is why God said it is so important that you tithe. I need you to give that 10%. I need you to turn that off. Because as long as you leave this active, all of the fear, all of the hate, all of the discouragement, all of the depression is going to come flying in here and root itself in the Garden of Eden. And the Garden of Eden is going to be filled with weeds and all ugly things growing in there.
Train your mind to see the good in every situation. Just start looking for something good. There is something good in everybody and in every situation. And there are some people and some situations that will challenge you. But you've got to focus, you got to look, and you got to say there's something good here. The first times you do this, yeah, it might be a struggle. It might feel like, oh, this is really difficult. But if you stay with it, you're going to start seeing the good everywhere. That's a simple, easy, doesn't cost anything, begin it right now, way of using a technique to start to move into.
Mostly white people study voodoo. Mm-hmm. White people will learn voodoo before we do.
That's a fact.
They'll scare us. You go to some of those voodoo priestesses, there's white people in there trying to get the game.
Oh, when I went to South Africa, I went to a bookstore out there, and it was a white woman in the back. She's doing like readings and like all of this stuff, and I'm looking at the books, and it's like all Aleister Crowley books on the wall. You understand me? And this is in South Africa, right? All black people, and most people don't know who Aleister Crowley is, and they can look him up. Yeah, you're right, because then you start to understand. You know, and he was a fraud. Yes, he was. Right? But most people utilize and think of him as higher than he really what is. But that system is something that they take serious. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That ability, that Luciferian system, that ability to turn the people backwards. Right? Because this is what they did with us. They put a spell on our entire culture. Everything that is good, that is bad, we think is good. Everything is good, we think bad, right? Our whole vision is backwards, so it sends us backwards.
Speaking of backwards thinking and Aleister Crowley, you reminded me, a lot of people talked about the rumors of him being connected with the music industry, and Aleister Crowley would and some other higher ranking people in the music industry would put hit messages in records, and you play the records backwards and you would hear these messages. Yes. They would put them in Beatles records. Right. And they said that that's what Charles Manson was listening to when he did the Helter Skelter whole. Yeah. So all of that stuff ties in.
Yeah, because that all goes to Alan Turing, right? Him creating those algorithm machines that, you know, helped them win the war against the Germans, right? Because they was able to decode the messages that the Germans were sending. So Alan Turing was their genius, but he was also a homosexual, so they never celebrated him, right? But he is essentially said to be, you know, the Turing machine, and how they use it is the father of like algorithm and the philosophy and the thesis of AI, artificial intelligence. So they went on to use, you know, some of that same thesis when they started creating MK Ultra and things of that nature, which is the CIA mind control projects. And so, you know, when you got these projects that's being led out, you know, some were carried out in San Francisco and Oakland and different places.
The Bay Area has had a lot of experimental things happen up there.
And they was dropping them people off. So when you see when you see the modern product of a city, you have to say, what was the history of things that created the culmination, right? You don't see it in Iowa or Ohio, but in certain condensed cities, there was certain experimentation that were being ran, and a lot of these patients and people were just being dropped off over there as well.
If you are a negative person, I don't care why you're negative. I don't care if you've been watching too much TV, whatever the reason. If you're negative, if you're hateful, if you're jealous, your brain is producing these chemicals. These chemicals, aka neurotransmitters, are being dispensed into your body. And then what your cells is doing is this. Let's say if I got a cell and my cell has 5 receptors. It got a receptor for love. It got 5 receptors each. 5 for love, 5 for happiness, 5 for joy, 5 for misery, and then 5 for hate. If you miserable and you hateful more than you the other 3, when this cell divides, it's going to have 15 for hate, 15 for jealousy, 2 for love, 2 for happiness, 2 for joy. And so now what you're literally doing is you're cellularly, literally, you are craving negativity. This is why some people love drama. Some people love, you can't understand why you just like to argue with motherfuckers. Because you are a walking argument. And your body is saying, feed me arguments, feed me arguments.
You attract that in a partner.
And if you can't attract it, you go get it. If it ain't coming to me, I'm going to it. Because you cellularly are a hateful person now. And you have more receptors in you pumping through your goddamn veins that's looking for hate chemical responses, or jealous chemical responses, or if you're insecure. So you feed off of, like when people say, watch your thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality, it's creating who you are cellularly as well.
As you can see, this is something that you can find in everybody's house, in everybody's room. People, brothers and sisters, some people even have their own bed. And, this is something that we all have to transcend. This is something that we all have to come back and really think about it. Is this normal? Is this the way nature intended? Well, in this video, let's dive into what this actually is. Now, such a surface doesn't exist in nature. This cushion is very soft. It doesn't engage my skeletal system. I'm basically using my flesh to support my weight, and this is not how it's supposed to be. Humans was never supposed to sleep on beds. If anything, we were supposed to sleep like this. All I'm trying to say is, humans are supposed to sleep on hard surfaces, guys. When you sleep on a cushion, what you're doing to yourself, you're putting all your weight on your flesh, on your skin, on your muscles. And you basically leave your skeleton not engaged. Now that I'm on the floor, all my weight is where? It's being in my skeleton. My skeleton is bearing my weight. And now my muscles are relaxed. There's no tension. I'm able to sleep. I'm able to let go. But if I'm on the bed, it's the complete opposite. My muscles are working while my skeleton is not even engaged. It's like my skeleton.
So I was just sitting at my computer, and then all of a sudden, just in a blink of an eye, I looked around and I was at the conference table in Hawaii. And the guys we were all discussing things, and I was right in rhythm with them, perfect harmony, like I'd been there for, quite a while. We were discussing things. And everything was cool until one of the guys said, well, how was your flight? I didn't have a flight this time. I'm here. But then I created, something in me created a past. Like I could remember, oh yeah, it must have been this and that and the other. And I built in, I created a past. I kind of looked into the eyes of the person that was asking me the question to tell him there's something more to this. And what I'm trying to say is beyond words to you. I don't know how to say it, but I was there and I'm here. And I was hoping he was picking up on a sub-level of what I was trying to do. But I realized by staying in the now, by being who and what you are, which we are eternal energy beings that have always been, we always will be, we're already everywhere at the same time. There is really no time. We've changed our perception. And as we change our perception, the people, places, and things around us subtly, even though they seem the same, they're different. They're on a different level. They're of a different character, different caliber. And this is blowing us away.
We're in the same room. The color in the room, the vibration in the room is actually different. And you're aware of it as it's happening. And it lasted for not just a split second, for quite a period of time.
And then we change these little 24.5 cycles per second to infinity. We can start seeing with our real eyes. And once you start vibrating the pineal gland, then the real eyes opens and you see things beyond infinity. You see beauty. So staying in the now and love, the love energy, just loving. And I'll say, oh, well, I'll just do it myself. And I cannot do anything without the other half of me, which is the other energy field. I'll say so.
I think women now are, we always have been, and just a lot of them haven't realized it. That they are powerful, that they are smarter than men, and they are the stronger sex.
No other people on the planet Earth has produced this amount of social justice and change around the world. None, by far. There's not even close competition. Not even close. Not even a close second. Black men and women have fought for freedom, justice, and equality. And the reason I believe is because we know how to recognize our enemy greater than anyone else. Right? The African cannot recognize his enemy. Right? He doesn't know if this is a Chinese man. He doesn't know if it's the white man. He doesn't know if it's his brother. He doesn't know it's the systems. He doesn't have that. Right? Not the way we've been able to recognize it, identify it, and create campaigns against it. Right? And this has been black men and women for the last 200 years. Right? Going back from Frederick Douglass creating abolitionist campaign to John Horse fighting his wars in the Seminole Wars. So we have been really great at, taking what we do, and that trickles across the world. Right? Like, you're talking about freedom of religion. If it wasn't for like black people bringing Islam to America, you don't get that across the planet Earth. Right? So like, everybody owes us a thank you for that. You talking about women's rights. Women's rights wouldn't have went nowhere without black women joining on to that movement, making noise for it. Right? Like, that's the campaign. You talk about human rights. Malcolm X was out there pushing human rights. Right? You talking about, just restoring the black man to his glory, saying that you're a god. That's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Correct.
You understand me? You talking about brothers giving a breakdown of nationalism, a nationality rather. That's Noble Drew Ali. Right? You teaching brothers financial literacy and creating science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics programs, STEAM. That's Marcus Garvey. Are you talking about coming up with the food program that's all around the U.S. now? That's the Black Panthers. Right? So like, we create these things and the world benefits from it. The single-handed way to make America great is to invest in the black man.
I agree 100%.
No.
You stop asking for permission to live with fire. And when you stop waiting, heaven stops waiting too. This is not a lesson. This is a summons. If you are hearing this now, it is because something in you is ready to rise. You have waited long enough. The silence you feel, the restlessness inside you, it is not confusion. It is a call. A divine order echoing from within, commanding you to stop living like you were forgotten. You were not made to shrink. You were not placed here to drift. You were sent, and the one who sent you does not apologize for power. The man who listens with reverence, who studies this again and again until it becomes his new law, he will not just change. He will become the living proof of purpose, sent with clarity, walking with power, and finishing what heaven began. Now listen, because the moment you believe this truth, you will no longer walk as a man. You will walk as one who was sent. You have walked long enough pretending to be less than what you were sent to become. You have bowed long enough to fear. You have hesitated long enough in the shadow of doubt. But now the voice of purpose calls to you. And if you will obey what is about to be spoken, not just hear it, but obey it, you will never again be the man you were before this hour. Because what I'm about to give you is not motivation. It is law, not advice, instruction. It is the truth of who you are beneath the story, beneath the excuses, beneath the hesitation that the world has taught you to wear. And here is that truth. You were not made small. You were not sent here to drift. You were not placed on this earth to survive. You were sent with power. You were sent with command. You were sent with God Himself written into your spirit. And yet, most men live like intruders in their own life. They apologize for wanting more. They hide their fire. They speak with hesitation, act with delay, and wait to be approved before they move. Not because they lack ability, but because they have forgotten who sent them. And the world prefers it that way. Because the man who walks as if God is within him, that man cannot be controlled. That is why this truth is not handed out in schools. It is not printed in the headlines. It is not celebrated in public. Because when a man begins to think as if heaven lives inside him, he becomes ungovernable by weakness. He no longer listens to the noise. He no longer waits for support. He no longer serves fear. He begins to walk differently, speak differently, build differently. And the moment that man appears, systems that rely on confusion begin to... If you act as if God is within you...
Santa is Satan. So this is Santa with the reindeers, and this is the god Saturn, also known as Saturno. The Roman god Santa is always depicted with a long grey beard, holding a scythe in his hand, because he's the god of harvesting and time. In ancient Rome, they celebrated something called Saturnalia, a festival dedicated to the god Saturn. And this took place in December, just like Christmas. The summer time's governed by the sun, the winter time's governed by Saturn. Summer is life, the winter is death. December and winter is when the most deaths occur. So many people die in December. This is when Saturn harvests the souls. Christmas is actually Saturnalia, which is a celebration of death. Don't you think it's weird how we celebrate the winter death instead of having a celebration in the summer life? Symbolism literally doesn't lie. The word Saturn is Satan. Now, of course, Saturn is not a real human with a long beard. This is all symbolic. Santa is...
If you are a negative person, I don't care why you're negative. I don't care if you've been watching too much TV, whatever the reason. If you're negative, if you're hateful, if you're jealous, your brain is producing these chemicals. These chemicals, aka neurotransmitters, are being dispensed into your body. And then what your cells is doing is this. Let's say if I got a cell and my cell has 5 receptors. It got a receptor for love. It got 5 receptors each. 5 for love, 5 for happiness, 5 for joy, 5 for misery, and then 5 for hate. If you miserable and you hateful more than you the other 3, when this cell divides, it's going to have 15 for hate, 15 for jealousy, 2 for love, 2 for happiness, 2 for joy. And so now what you're literally doing is you're cellularly, literally, you are craving negativity. Yeah. This is why some people love drama. Some people love... you can't understand why you just like to argue with motherfuckers. Yeah. Because you are a walking argument. And your body is saying, feed me arguments, feed me arguments.
You attract that in the partner.
And if you can't attract it, you go get it. Yeah. If it ain't coming to me, I'm going to it. Because you cellularly are a hateful person now. And you have more receptors in you pumping through your goddamn veins that's looking for hate chemical responses, or jealous chemical responses, or if you're insecure. So you feed off of, like when people say, watch your thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality, it's creating who you are cellularly as well.
As you can see, this is something that you can find in everybody's house, in everybody's room. People, brothers and sisters, some people even have their own bed. And, this is something that we all have to transcend. This is something that we all have to come back and really think about it. Is this normal? Is this the way nature intended? Well, in this video, let's dive into what this actually is. Now, such a surface doesn't exist in nature. This cushion is very soft. It doesn't engage my skeletal system. I'm basically using my flesh to support my weight. And this is not how it's supposed to be. Humans was never supposed to sleep on beds. If anything, we were supposed to sleep like this. All I'm trying to say is, humans are supposed to sleep on hard surfaces, guys. When you sleep on a cushion, what you're doing to yourself you're putting all your weight on your flesh, on your skin, on your muscles, and you basically leave your skeleton not engaged. Now that I'm on the floor, all my weight is where? It's being in my skeleton. My skeleton is bearing my weight, and now my muscles are relaxed. There's no tension. I'm able to sleep. I'm able to let go. But if I'm on the bed, it's the complete opposite. My muscles are working while my skeleton is not even engaged. It's like my skeleton is not even there.
Because the subconscious mind is the key. Do you know what the subconscious mind does? It never sleeps. When you dream out of the subconscious mind. It never sleeps. It never forgets. It remembers everything that you've forgotten. Never forgotten. Everything you've ever heard, everything you've ever learned, everything that's ever been told to you is accepted as fact and stored in the subconscious mind. The most powerful instrument in the universe is the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is only 10%. And the thing is that everything that goes into the subconscious that causes the problem comes from the conscious. Somebody tells you something, it goes in there and it finds a place to dwell and grow in there. Somebody teaches you something. Somebody frightens you. It all goes from here, your conscious mind, and then it goes into the subconscious mind. And when it goes into the subconscious mind, you forget it. But your subconscious doesn't. So, a situation happens. See, this is only 10% of, this is the key of tithing. This is why God said it is so important that you tithe. I need you to give that 10%. I need you to turn that off. Because as long as you leave this active, all of the fear, all of the hate, all of the discouragement, all of the depression is going to come flying in here and root itself in the Garden of Eden. And the Garden of Eden is going to be filled with weeds and all ugly things growing in there.
If you're not happy in your job, if you're not happy with your life, what do you really want to do? And they'll talk about it, but they say, I can't do that. There's no money in it. There's no future in it. Everybody thinks I'm crazy if I want to quit my job and take up painting, or if I want to quit my job and be a healer, and there's no money in it. They have to stay in the rat race. But are you going to listen what everybody else says, or are you going to listen to your heart? Because otherwise you are going to stay sick, you're going to stay miserable. To find what it is you really want to do. Maybe there isn't any money in it, but what is it you want to do? And that's why I try to encourage people to find. You can find your passion. I always ask the client, what is it you really want to do? If you're not happy in your job, if you're not happy with your life, what do you really want to do?
That's with us because they know what we are. They knew what we are. We are supreme beings, creators of the cosmos, creators of all that you see, even the 4 phases of matter. That's how powerful you are. It's streams of water that you could drink that would empower you. But you can't drink them no more because they built roads over them. And then they built pipelines to make that water flow, that water stream out to them under their Vatican, under their certain locations. We came here sovereign beings, man. That's how we came. Can't forget that. Right now, we need ultimate unity. It's not about race. It's not about color. It's always been about vibration. Yeah, if you got neuromelanin, that makes us God. Yes, it does. But if you're a human being and you don't have neuromelanin, that don't make you less of a person. You're a human being. Nothing's wrong with that. Especially if you got a high vibration. See what I'm saying? That's a fact. Because you got beings that have neuromelanin, but they got a low vibration, so they don't do us no good. So they gotta go. What's your vibration?
Work out perfectly for you. All the right things are going to happen to you in your life. All the right people are going to enter your life, and all the wrong people are going to leave in your life. You're going to have a beautiful home in your life. You're going to have a great career throughout your life. You're going to waken up every day of your life next to the love of your life. You're going to have leisurely Sundays and terrific holidays. You're going to travel and see the world. You're going to meet incredible people in your life who can help, and who you will help in ways that you could never have believed possible. You're going to be recognized as a hugely successful person and appreciated for this ability you have to help others. Please don't worry. Your life is going to work out perfectly. Now, I suggest that you read this to yourself every morning and last thing at night over the next 6 months, and the change that will happen to you will be unbelievable.
Yo, I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I hope they made you think. I hope they gave you a different idea. I hope they, made you look within. I know my journey has not been easy. There've been a lot of years before this point of me creating content like this to even get to this place. I had so much doubt in myself. I had to really recalibrate and reprogram and practice loving on me. And to know him is to love him. They wasn't talking about the Jesus. They were talking about the you in the mirror every single day that you deal with. I don't abandon people. I no longer take things I don't get defensive about stuff. I don't walk into situations with any ill intent, but for myself to learn, to grow, and to, have that reciprocally done, as the universe only works on reciprocal energy. And I used to just, feed and, feed and not get anything else. I learned to really preserve myself. My mom taught me that. She said self-preservation. And I didn't really get what she said, but yeah. There's a thing such as spiritually tired. And when you get spiritually tired, that is something that sleep can't really cure. We must look at ourselves as the God that we are praying up to, I guess. The one that's so outside of us that we can't see it in ourselves. We have to see that God put himself in us. Like our mother and father, genetics made us. It's the same on a cosmic, even biological level too. As your thoughts do change the actual cells in your body, as we just learned. Negative people produce cells that, multiply, and they actually genetically are passed down. So, I just know that for me, when I interact with something that I would say may have called difficult at one time, and it was only difficult because that version of myself I didn't recognize in me. So I wouldn't, I got mad at the person. No. I love on that piece of me inside of them, and I make sure that it is healed now consciously. So no matter how that conversation ends, they can't weaponize me. They can't escalate it. All they can do is really sit befuddled, saying things like, well, no piece of you is in me. And that's when I knew for sure that that's when you really know if a person really has done the self-work and done the self healing and journey. They would relate and actually understand you. They wouldn't just wholeheartedly, cast you out and be negative towards you. So, remain genuine. Keep your eye on the prize. I'm going to love that piece of me that's in you regardless of what you say, because I need to grow, elevate, and be, and that piece of me needs me. And I can love on that piece of me, guess what? And still have my, boundaries, my self-respect, my dignity. Why? Because my eye is on the prize. And I have forgiven me. So I know when I do the conscious work to heal me, I know when my work is done, because I didn't create all the trauma. I'm just taking responsibility for what's there. That's me. So that's when you know somebody's done the self-work, is when they are actually able to take responsibility and ownership And I think once a person does that, there's no real pointing fingers anymore. You don't really hear too much of them blaming people, but more strategizing about what they can do better to get to where they need to be. 2026 for me and for all of us that wake up January 1st, 2026. Stop downplaying ourselves, stop doubting, stop not believing in you, stop everything that we have done. Let's flip it over, you know. Let's love on ourselves more. Let's learn, because you know, when you decide to learn and have an experience with somebody, it's actually more fun than just trying to sit there and be so. Life is an experience, not to be taken so seriously, but to be experienced. There's nothing to explain until after you've sat in the experience and had time to analyze that experience. Allow yourself. 2026 is not the year to hold back anymore. Do you see the other side holding back? Do you see them holding their tongue when they want to say who they don't like and who they... No, it's us. We want to do so much, but we've done enough. All we have not done is literally bigged ourselves up like the gods we are. So I'm telling you right now, happy holidays. Rewrite this whole thing. Make it yours. Just celebrate you. Your gift to your family, let it be you. Your gift to your children, let it be you. And if they don't know the value in you, then that is a big teachable moment. A pivotal moment that could change everything. That will change everything. Because it started at home. So all I'm saying is, as above, so below. If your mind messed up, your body messed up, if your thoughts messed up, your life messed up, if you just have a ill attitude about things, guess what? Ill results will definitely show up. And you will continue to program your body to be miserable, and it will continue splitting cells that will be miserable and negative, and it's just really a chemical thing. It's so much science here that I don't even know what to do. But yes, we are the antenna of the life that we have. Stop blaming other people. It will never change until you take responsibility for yourself. Nobody can bring you anything unless you let them. Okay? Fear and anxiety, if that prevents you from doing it, then fear and anxiety is what you love more than your peace and your happiness. So weigh it now. And if you don't know what you're feeling, then you do need to sit by yourself, because that is you calling on you to pay attention to you. Okay, that's all. Anyway, happy holidays, people. I hope this was great. I actually feel really great putting this out right now and sharing this end of the year message with my Alim aliens, my New World architects, and the shiny ones who will continue to build the new world, because we're finished with the old one. And when it's finished crumbling, everybody left that's still kind of like awestruck needs something to stand on, so that, you know, until we all get, you know, back to our purpose, back to our duty, back to what we can contribute to each other. So yeah, I'm great. I'm glad. I'm grateful. I am humbled. I'm going to act. I'm going to show out, because really the gifts that my father, my cosmic father, my cosmic creator has given me, I see it now. I feel it now. I am and always have been an embodiment of a purpose. I've always been here on purpose. Yeah, and it's time that we start talking to each other that way, instead of, your mother, and all this other stuff. We've been calling each other out our names and using all these things. No, we just need to use pure love. Outside of whatever the hell is here, because whatever that is, that was given to us through the TV via somebody's white man script and dull idea of what things are. They didn't really want to show you what things are. They wanted to tell you what things are, which is why the television tells you that vision. And you tell yourself. It's time for us to do the work. We've been lazy enough. We've been indoctrinated enough. We've been waiting enough. What are we waiting on? Jesus is not coming. Jesus is inside of you. And if you are too tired to get him,